Disclaimer, there will be spoilers mentioned in this video, so if you haven't seen this film and don't want me to give anything away about it, this is your warning to go watch it first and then come back. Also, everything said in this video is just my opinion based off of personal experiences. Feel free to agree or disagree as you wish. After all, this is just a personal critique. Enjoy the video. We're just gonna ignore him. I've kind of been missing spooky season right now, so let's critique a scary movie. The movie we're going to be critiquing today is Run. Run was released in 2020 and directed by Anish Giganti, I think. And screenplay was written by Anish alongside Sev Onen, maybe? I'm sorry. And some of the inspiration for this movie partly comes from the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case, as well as other victims. You kind of see what this movie's gonna be about. Starring Kira Allen as Chloe and Sarah Paulson as Diane, aka our main characters. Our story starts in a hospital where Diane just gave birth to her baby girl, but I'm assuming that it was too early for her to be giving birth because the baby was very tiny and very ill, and the doctors had to do a lot of procedures just to keep her alive. Okay, so this is really cool. I love this little feature. The next shot after we see Diane with her baby, the next shot is all of these like medical terms and definitions helping you understand like the dialogue you're gonna hear later and understand the story better, but they start to fade away and the only word left is run. So cool. Anyway, our main story takes place in Washington. We meet Chloe and see her daily routine. We also know that she clearly has a lot of health issues and is paralyzed. Her daily routine is pills, physical therapy, and homework since she's homeschooled. We also learn that she's incredibly smart and works with robotics, I'm pretty sure. We also know that every time the mail truck comes by, she gets really excited to see if she's been accepted into university. Ah, the misery of waiting to know through mail. Well, glad I didn't have to go through that. Mine was just through online. One day, Diane comes home with groceries, and when she leaves to take a phone call, Chloe goes through the groceries because she knows that Diane bought some of her favorite chocolate, so you know, she wants to take a little bit. But as she's looking for them, she comes across some pills that say they're for Diane, which, you know, you'd think be normal, but usually Chloe's the one who gets all the medication. And when Chloe is taking her medication, she sees the exact same pills that were in Diane's bottle. Diane just plays it off saying,
"My name was on the receipt, which they put on the bottle."
Clearly manipulation, but whatever. The next day, she gets a hold of the same medication just to take a closer look at it, and she does see that Diane printed a new label with Chloe's name on it, but when she peels it back, Diane's name is still there. So Chloe stops taking the pill. That night, Chloe goes onto the computer to look up the ingredients from the pills, but the Wi-Fi is turned off. So, bummer. Now, Diane tries to cover it up and says that something just interfered with it and now it's just down magically. So, in the morning, Chloe dials a random phone number and asks the guy on the phone to look up the medication. He says that it deals with heart conditions. So, she makes a plan to get some more answers by going to the movies with Diane, but sneaks away saying she's like going to the bathroom, and instead she goes to the nearest pharmacy to get the drug looked up, and apparently it's a drug for dogs, and if a human took it, the pharmacy woman says that your legs could go numb. But Diane finds her and gives her a syringe that makes her pass out. She's clearly dangerous. She also locked Chloe in her room. So Chloe does everything she can to get out of her room, including going out the window, crawling on the roof, and breaking a different window. But to ensure Chloe doesn't escape, Diane turned off the wheelchair elevator for the stairs. So Chloe had to like fall down the stairs. Ouch. But it was in this moment where she could ever so slightly start having a feeling in her feet. Like she could move her feet. That is huge. She gets out of the house and finds the mailman, and he tries to help her, but Diane kind of drugs him and takes Chloe back to the house. Chloe wakes up in the basement and she finds her acceptance letter to the university she's been wanting to go to. Then she finds a picture of Chloe from when she was a toddler, and it's a picture of her running. Finally, she finds a death certificate addressed to Chloe, but it says that she died 2 hours after being born. So you know how I've been calling Diane Run and not Chloe's mom? Yeah, because she was never Chloe's real mother. So after learning this, Diane offers Chloe they should forget about all of this and go back to how it was before. Obviously, Chloe is refusing, and Diane tries to inject something into her again, something to like make her lose her memories, but Chloe traps herself in a closet and puts a very dangerous chemical in her mouth and swallows it. It had to have not tasted good. I love how I'm just only thinking about the taste. But she did that, so Diane had no choice but to take her to the hospital. And after being treated, Chloe survives, and she tries to communicate with the nurse by writing the word mom. But Diane gets Chloe out of there, and the security is after them. But Chloe stops Diane by planting her feet firmly on the ground. And then Diane gets shot by the cops, making Chloe finally free. We flash forward to 7 years later, where Chloe is married, she can walk, she has a baby girl, and she found her real parents. And we know this because she visits Diane at a prison and tells her this. But before she leaves, Chloe gives Diane the dog drugs that she gave Chloe all those years ago, getting her revenge on the woman who ruined her life and took away her childhood. And that's where the movie ends. So now I will be giving my overall thoughts and rating this movie out of 5 stars. I don't know why I said it like that. I thought this movie was really, really good. You know, in my opinion, horror really is one of the easiest genres to do. This movie really proved my point. The writing was very simple, but that's what made it really good. Acting was fantastic. Soundtrack was great. Cinematography was great. The writing was great. The only thing is I didn't find it to be too scary, but that's only because it was on a realistic matter and not really like about monsters or demons. It wasn't that scary. It was a little scary though. And Diane, yeah, I'd call her a monster. Is it time? I think it's time. I give this movie 5 stars. It wasn't too crazy, it was simple, but there were so many times where I was actually on the edge of my seat. I really liked this movie a lot. That's all I have to say about it. I really recommend it. It is really sad to think about how this was based off of the Gypsy Blanchard case, and that was just also a horrible case in general, but this is also based off of more people who have done this to their kids. That is so sick. That is disgusting that these mothers or fathers would do these kinds of acts to their children in order to like keep them forever. But I did really enjoy this movie. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's critique. Let me know any movies you would like for me to critique down in the comments, and I will see you guys in our next film or Cowan Critique. Bye!